Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Singh Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.
Taking to the air to see the future of Bettendorf and solving a murder. It'll take a sleuth in the cities. Interstate 74 bridge construction is now becoming a reality, and that means both Moline and Bettendorf are envisioning a new riverfront. Both cities are looking for a mix of residential, commercial, and public space as both cities get an opportunity to reshape the heart of their community. Now, Bettendorf has taken this one step further, showing us the future today. And joining us is Bettendorf City Administrator Decker Plain. How are you, young man?
I'm good to see you.
We love seeing this video because I love this stuff.
It's cool.
It's nice to be able to envision what the future is going to be, but it's taken a lot of work to get to the point where we are right now.
Just like with the bridge, a lot of planning.
Well, let's take a look
from
the bird's eye view of the very beginning. And you start off basically on the Grant and State Street level, and then you're heading downtown. What was the point of this area?
So we were trying to show what the bridge is actually going to be at the landings, if you will, right just east and west of 14th Street.
Sure.
And then work your way down to where really the bulk of the change immediately after you exit the bridge is going to occur, and where the old Twin Bridges Hotel was.
Which was not necessarily the best entryway for Bettendorf, and this has really changed. And this is that building.
Yep, and that's on the right, and that's going to be the bridges.
And then I want to show you off to the right after this building is how you pretty much have landscaped the front of City Hall to make that kind of a nice area.
You know, redid the whole landscaping concept there, expanded it out, and we're expanding the fire station right now with that big couple bays on the far west end.
Because I know that you had a fear, particularly with the one-ways, that perhaps people are just driving through Bettendorf and not particularly stopping. Does this at all minimize that?
Well, we hope it helps. You know, the veering here causes people to slow a little bit,
right.
But we also wanted to get some color in front of City Hall because it's a pretty bland area.
Now, as we're traveling down here, we're going to see another building that is a few stories tall, but it's got a little, a certain orange color to it, and that's going to be the new Essentra Credit Union headquarters. That's really important to keep a really strong business in the heart of Bettendorf.
We thought so, and that's why we did the whole arrangement with them and the development agreement. And it's right across the street from our other gem, the Waterfront Convention Center. So yeah, keeping them downtown was very important for the City Council, and having a financial institution's home headquarters we think is a really good thing as well.
Well, being an old guy that's been here for a while, about 15, 20 years ago, Bettendorf had this plan for downtown. It had an amphitheater in the middle and the plan for the Waterfront Convention Center. This is a little bit different than that was, but did you borrow some ideas from that original plan?
Well, there's been a lot of consternation over whether or not we should have open space there, green space, and I think we've all kind of decided that it's kind of moved towards the bridge, and this is away from the bridge. So the opportunity to put Essentra there kind of solidified that plan, and gives us probably 100 people working in that office building downtown on a daily basis. That's also very good.
The other thing that we've been noticing time and again, whether it's Moline, Rock Island, Davenport, Bettendorf, for years in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, we turned our back to the river. The industrial buildings were that. It was the lifeblood for industry, which was not a bad thing. But now cities are really focusing on what a riverfront could bring.
Well, and in our case, we have very little that we own. So most of it is private riverfront. So we're still trying to get our hands on any kind of piece that we can acquire to make that very reality happen.
Well, let's take a look at that video as well, because we've got pictures of what would be a new bridge that would be a little further on the east side, and that would head to the riverfront.
That'd be at 23rd Street, and we always thought that the Alter Greenbridge Goldstein property needed a second entrance, and so we've programmed one in.
Green space all there just to the east of the casino hotels.
Yes, but that may change with the development.
Sure.
But then you work your way down here by the marina and then onto what we call the jetty park, and that was the jetty that serviced the boat, the gambling boat, and usually had a big white tent on it, if you remember.
Right, I do.
And the Isle actually came to us with this idea and said, can we partner on this? So they're putting $750,000 in. The city's putting $250,000 in. but then we agree to take over the maintenance and ownership of it.
Well, and it's kind of interesting because when we looked at that one picture in that corner, you are making a point that you can visualize every day, every night, every minute that new I-74 bridge.
Absolutely, and this is right on the bike path, so you can just pull off for a couple of seconds if you want a little respite. And so this gives more visibility, more accessibility, and you're right, it gives a spectacular view of the brand new I-74 bridge.
Let's be honest, the I-74 bridge always seemed to be kind of an overpass over downtown Moline and not really conducive for business in Bettendorf. All the accidents would happen and all that, but it was basically a get-on, get-off area, and you're kind of integrating that bridge more into your downtown plans.
Absolutely. There's an urban park that is underneath the bridge that we'll see in a little bit, and we tried to model the jetty park itself with features that are similar to or consistent with what's going to be under the bridge in the urban park.
How critically important is it that the bike path is there and you have the link all across the river that links all the cities but well into other bike trails throughout the state?
Absolutely. We think it's the piece of tourism that nobody's really grabbed yet in the country, and as you know, this is only the second place in the country where the American Discovery Trail and the Great Mississippi River Trail join. Us in St. Louis. And so we think with the brand new bridge that it's the only interstate bridge in the country that will have a 14.5-foot pedestrian bike path trail on it. We're going to attract a lot of people from all over the country who want to come dip their tires in the Mississippi and go over it.
Well, there's also, I mean, as we took a look at these pictures still of the jetty area in the downtown area, Bettendorf was always kind of, I don't want to say laughed at, but it didn't have much of a downtown.
That's right.
Because let's be honest, it was more of a bedroom community for so long. This really changes that game.
It does give us a downtown that we haven't had in a long time. Before the one-ways, we did have a downtown, but that was long before Jim Mertens and Decker Plain, us two young guys.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, we're revitalizing that and we're getting a downtown, which is really kind of cool.
And then let's show the park that's going to be underneath the bridge. But before we do that, you have to actually show a little bit of that new apartment complex called the Bridges that's being constructed. It's the third of our videos. And once again, this is the casino hotels. And then we scoot a little to the north and we get to see a little of the development that is there as well. This would be the west side of the downtown area. And I draw your attention to the two buildings that are connected right there. That's where the Twin Bridges Motel was.
That's right. It's called the Bridges. And it's going to be 4.5 to 5 stories, and there'll be a rooftop fireplace for the residents there. In fact, we're told that all of the 2-bedroom units are already rented.
Is that so?
And that he's about 60% occupied now.
Then we got the green space here, and this is what's kind of interesting is that you go under the bridge and you do not want to waste that property either.
That's right, and so a lot of the plantings that are here can sustain themselves without sunlight, and so they were put in specifically because they're going to be able to grow in this environment. And we wanted to continue to connect these portions of the downtown with the riverfront and with the bike path. And so we circulate underneath the bridge. All the plantings and all the colors are the things that will cascade throughout the downtown. And then of course you see the elevator that we're paying for. It's going to be 2 commercial cargo bays to be able to carry wheelchairs, bikes, multiple bikes, with a generator, and so that people can get up onto the pedestrian bike path structure and don't have to go all the way back down to Grant Street to get on, and will be able to get themselves up there and have the spectacular view on the overlook.
Because that was a great idea, because that kind of ties in LeClaire Park and everything else, that people can now use that bridge no matter what type of ability or disability you have.
That's correct.
How critically important was this I-74 bridge for the city of Bettendorf?
Well, I think it's going to change our whole downtown, our whole identity, if you will. And I think based on all the planning that we've done and all of the development interests that we have, I think, to your point, it's going to escalate us up there with everybody else who has the Schwiebert Park is beautiful. LeClaire Park, where we go to the Pops or go to a ball game. All of those venues are lovely, and this is going to give us that opportunity. And of course, you got the trail that goes through Moline and East Moline. It takes you all the way up to Savannah. Right. Now it will be connected. So all of us are finding places on our riverfronts that we can have our residents and our visitors and all Quad citizens come to.
Well, because Moline also is planning a bit of a riverfront park as well to make the most out of their land that is going to be available with that old bridge being torn down.
Exactly, and you've got the quarter in East Moline, and it's starting to pop now. So all of the cities that have an attachment to the river, we're going to have access to in a much stronger way than we ever did.
Two other developments I wanted to talk about real quickly. Neither one near the river. One is over at Middle Road and I-80. It was called the Betplex. It's now called the TBK Bank Sports Complex.
Yes.
Talk about game changers. Everyone is saying that that could be a huge draw for tourism.
We think it's going to be phenomenal. The numbers, projected numbers, are as high as 700,000 people a year coming to play either softball, baseball, soccer, and the facility is incredible, 270,000 square feet under 6 acres of roof.
And whenever you develop one portion of an interchange, you know the other 4 or other 3 corners are going to be developed as well. There's a huge, I know you have a huge, I think 35-year plan for the whole area?
Yep, and as a matter of fact, the city bought land on the north side, the northwest corner, or northeast corner rather, probably 15 years ago.
Where the old gas station used to be?
Well, just to the other side of the street, actually.
Okay, all right.
And we're starting to do our work on getting sewer out there. And so, yeah, we're really excited about what that whole interchange is going to bring. It's the only urban interchange in the Quad Cities that hasn't been developed.
Absolutely. The other area that I wanted to ask you about is where the old Jumers Hotel used to be. With that gone, kind of an eyesore, I think, for the city for a while, still hoping for some development in that area?
We're in discussions with the owner of the property, the Russell Construction Company, about possibilities, and they've shown us some things that they're interested in doing. So I suspect that sometime this year that's going to come forward as well. So yeah, it's an exciting time to be in Bettendorf, and a little more work than we want to do all at once, but we've been doing a lot of planning to get ready for it, so we're excited about it.
I was going to say the key really is planning. As far as Bettendorf is, I mean, you are one of those communities, it's not the oldest community in the Quad Cities, of course, so you were able to actually plan, but still the amount of housing that's being constructed in the city, you guys are stretched to the brink.
Well, we're very fortunate that we get this continued growth, and primarily because we have available land. Not everybody else, some of the other cities are landlocked, and so we have plenty of land. We go to about 1 section line north of Interstate 80, and we have plans to annex even further north. So that's in our long-range plan. So we're seeing the growth. We're continuing to see the growth. It helps fuel what we got going, and we're excited about all of it.
Decker Plain, always good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
City Administrator for Bettendorf, thanks for showing us that video, letting us to see what the future could be in Bettendorf.
It's exciting. Thanks, Jim.
It absolutely is. There are plenty of events throughout the cities right now that you, your friends, your family may not have considered. That's why Laura Adams keeps track of them all, if you want to go out and about.
This is Out and About for January 22nd through 28th. Hi, I'm Laura Adams. It's time for the JCs of the Quad Cities Bridal Expo at the River Center January 27th. The Boys and Girls Club of the Mississippi Valley's annual gala will be held at the Waterfront Convention Center, and join the Norma Leah Ovarian Cancer Initiative at their Cocoa and Cookies Social. Quad Cities Interfaith is having a trivia night at the Holiday Inn Rock Island, and the Safer Foundation is holding a super trivia night at the Knights of Columbus Hall, Davenport. You're invited to an elegant afternoon at the Mother-Daughter Butterworth Center Tea, or celebrate with the Scottish American Society at the 41st Annual Robert Burns Dinner at the Isle Resort in Bettendorf. The 24th Annual Eagles and Ivories Ragtime Weekend is coming January 26th through 28th with concerts at Wesley United Methodist in Muscatine. 16 show choirs from the state of Iowa will be at Davenport's North High School competing for the title of Grand Champion at the Big Dance Show Choir Invitational. Disney musical Freaky Friday is currently entertaining audiences at Circa 21 Dinner Playhouse Rock Island, and the Tony Award-winning mystery Sleuth by Anthony Schaefer is currently surprising audiences at the Black Box Theater in downtown Moline, while The Establishment is the site for the stand-up showcase, and In the Next Room or The Vibrator play by Sarah Rule will be at the Bruner Theater Center. For more information, visit wqpt.org.
Thank you, Laura. Danica Holmes is busy these days. She'll be touring the Midwest and in the Carolinas starting next month. Tonight we want to feature something from her 2012 album called Living Your Dream. She's teamed up with Jeb Hart for Rainy Day Lovin'.
sun's been shining for 19 days straight. Well, people have been saying we're lucky the rain stayed away. But now the weatherman, oh, he's telling us that tomorrow it's gonna pour. Well, I've been ready and waiting for a good thunderstorm. Because when it rains, oh, how he loves me. Like we only have one night. If it let go, he'd lose me, yeah. And we slow it on down. Yeah, we take our time. Well, nothing's sweeter than his rainy day loving. Well, candles flicker and eventually burn out. The sun will break through and scatter those dark stormy clouds. I wanna lay here forever, but the day today awaits. So reluctant to leave him, well, I just wanna stay. Because when it rains, well, oh, how he loves me. Like we only have one night. If it let go, he'd lose me, yeah. And we slow it on down. Yeah, we take our time. Yeah, nothing's sweeter than his rainy day loving. Well, got nothing against sunshine, but when the sky goes black and the wind starts to howl and the thunder claps, yeah, I start thinking about his loving. It sends tangles through my spine, so I'll keep waiting on a rain with my palms to the sky. 'Cause when it rains, oh, how he loves me. Like we only have one night. If it let go, he'd lose me, yeah. And we slow it on down. Yeah, we take our time. Yeah, nothing's sweeter than his rainy day loving. Oh, nothing's sweeter than his rainy day loving. Yeah, nothing's sweeter than his rainy day loving.
Danica Holmes featuring guitarist Jeb Hart with Rainy Day Livin'. Imagine the perfect murder, then imagine those involved trying to outsmart each other. You know it's not going to end well. Well, that's the basis of the classic play Sleuth, which was made later into a classic movie featuring Laurence Olivier and Michael Caine. Now it returns to the stage where it belongs at Moline's Black Box Theater. And joining us now, two stars of Sleuth, Pat Flaherty and Philip Dunbridge. Both of you, thank you so much for joining us. Classic roles, classic film, but a better play?
A much better play. much better play. The dialogue hasn't been cut. It's made for the play. It's made for the stage.
And it is kind of the classic whodunit and it's almost a psychological issue here.
Well, it keeps asking who did do it because it happens over and over and over again. There's several twists in the show. It's just a delightful piece of work.
Is this a great role for an actor? Is this a great play? I mean, it really centers on you two as stars.
Yes, I mean it's a tremendous challenge for sure to be, you know, as Pat said, all the twists and turns. There's so many subtleties, you know, to make sure you're keeping the audience engaged and having fun and keeping them excited for the piece as well. So,
and there are some people who may not know the story of Sleuth, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But is it important? Is it one of those that it's a classic, you know how it's going to end, you're going to enjoy it anyhow, or do you have a little twist and turn there so that the audience doesn't see something coming?
Well, I think either way, they're going to enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Personally, I would prefer not to watch the movie before the play. I think always, though, the opportunity to see live theater over a film is going to bring something else to it. You know, this intimacy, being able to really feel like you're in the room with the characters. And so for a piece like this, I think it's going to add to that suspense.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Pat, set me up. You play Andrew Wyke, who is Laurence Olivier's character. What's the whole plan? Because you're the one that's the mind behind this disaster.
He's a totally eccentric, egomaniacal author who's full of himself and who's challenged by a younger man who comes into his world, and they decide to, or he decides to play a game. And the game goes on from there.
And we're talking about people's lives here because it starts with your wife.
Yeah. The wife has been compromised by the younger man. The marriage is breaking up, and he's not going to let her go.
Well, Philip, you're the younger man, Milo Tyndall, a character that is so juicy and unbelievable throughout this whole play. Tell me a little bit of how you get into that character.
Well, I mean, the lines do so much for it. It's so beautifully written that really helps, and the set, you know, the Black Box Theater provides a real intimate setting, but you know, just having this rich set around you, it's easy to just kind of dive right into this style and make you feel that you're in this country house in England.
And it's really a great mind piece because the character Andrew thinks he's smarter +1, and your character does everything he can to show him up.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's a great arc for both characters, for sure. You know, my character coming in at the beginning not really knowing what's going on. You know, basically my character's been sleeping with his wife, and all of a sudden I get this note to say, hey, come talk to me. You know, so he has no idea what's to be expected, and he has taken on probably the scariest roller coaster ride of his life.
Of the two characters, which one's smarter?
Oh, that's really tough.
I'd say they're a match.
Because
Yeah.
and that's what makes it so good, is because I mean, it is definitely a sword fight. With you guys are at it with no end in sight.
Right, exactly.
If somebody didn't die, we'd probably still be going on with it.
Do you like? It's at the Black Box Theater, which is a small venue, a very, you know, no curtain closes or anything like that. Do you like that type of intimate setting for something like Sleuth?
Actually, yes, it works well for us. Although the set in Sleuth is almost a character on its own. It'd be an expensive experience to do it that way, but so we've pared down some things, and it plays very well on that stage.
Is it nice to be that close to the audience? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you as well. Because every little reaction, I know an actor loves a good audience.
You love to get the empathy feed. You give it to them and it comes back to you. And you can feel it, you know, and they can feel it. You just spend the evening doing that, just giving things to the audience, and they give it right back to you.
Because let's be honest, an audience is almost another character at any performance.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's, depending on what you have there, will definitely change the course of a show.
So what did you do to prepare for this role? Because you were Michael Caine in the movie, of course. I mean, like you said, you kind of don't want to see the movie ahead of time. You don't want that influencing you.
Right.
But the great Michael Caine is not something that you can ignore.
Well, but very true. He is a phenomenal actor. But he also had, in his earlier days when he did this, he had a prototype. You know, and I think that was my intent, was to not look at him as an actor, but that character.
I see.
And it's phenomenal, England having this rich tradition of the gentleman and how they act and being that proper. So there's a lot of resources to go to think of that, you know, going back to these Emily Post etiquette days of what really is proper, that gentlemen are always in a suit and tie, you know, no matter what. So really diving into that, but then also trying to balance the fact that my character is younger. You know, there was a shift in culture happening. So trying to walk that line.
And Laurence Olivier is no hack either.
I think of it, that particular part, I think more in line with John Cleese as opposed to Olivier.
Interesting.
Didn't really think about Larry playing this part.
Sir Larry, right?
Yeah, of course.
Philip Dunbridge, thank you so much for joining us. Pat
Thanks,
Flaherty,
Robert.
nice to see you. Sleuth is the play. It's going to be at the Black Box Theater. Of course, tickets are on sale right now. theblackboxtheater.com. So easy. Find out who got murdered and who did it. WQPT is doing its part to support the military men and women in the cities who are serving our nation. We call it Embracing the Military. The Army is ready to help military men and women, retirees and their spouses get a better job. An advanced resume class is scheduled for next Friday afternoon at Building 110 on Arsenal Island. The session will help people tailor their resumes to get better government jobs. And all you have to do is contact the Employment Readiness Office by Wednesday to reserve your spot. On the air, on the radio, on the web, and on your mobile device. Thanks for taking some time to join us as we talk about the issues on the cities.
Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Singh Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.